I didn't make the rules, the streets did. And if you think this trick counts for trick of the year, you're goofy. Yeah, I don't actually believe that, but I am going to go over some opinions on whether or not this trick can be trick of the year. So this is Andy Anderson, Andy Anderson's trick, right? He put rubber onto the skate rail, and it's one of those situations where it would definitely kick you off right there if you didn't put the rubber. So he did make this spot more skatable. Now, I don't think anybody would have skated the spot if this hadn't happened. Um, so Street League posted this. They said, "Is this trick of the year?" I, being a little bit of a contrarian, wanted to start some drama. So I commented, and I just said, trick of the year cannot be tool assisted. Where this rule came from, it did not. It did not come from anywhere. I'm just making shit up, you know what I mean? But there is something weird about it, and people really don't like it. Um, so this is actually the top comment on the Street League post. So clearly, people agree with it. Most of these people don't know that I honestly don't care, or it's a little bit of a troll job, you know? It's not a genuine comment. I don't actually care what trick of the year is. I couldn't name you the last 5 tricks of the year. I think Tyshawn got one, and I'm pretty sure he had Bondo in his, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, uh, I'm just going to go over some of these. Yo, I'm just dropping everything. I'm going to go over some of these comments. So yeah, they said wax can't be used, 90 likes, so pretty good recourse, I guess. It's pretty common. You'd rather nobody have ever tried this rail. That's where, you know, it gets interesting, because even Nyjah, when he went to that one spot where he grinded up and down the rail for, I don't remember if it was his ender, but his last video part, I felt like it was a little less cool that he put the kicker. But at the same time, the rail wouldn't have been skated. So there is that level of, if it's not going to get done either way, I think skaters want it to get done. So I don't think everybody is really too mad at the rubber. It does feel like, though, trick of the year should be something else. I mean, this is a 50-50 on a curved rail. You know, and let's look at it a little differently. If the rail wasn't so long after the curve, would this be nearly as cool? Like, see how slow he's going right there? It's almost like a ride-on grind, you know? If they didn't have that big part at the end, the rubber would just seem really, really strange. And there's parts that come out where dudes are like hauling ass at the end of a rail. A part just recently came out. I'm trying to remember, Burley or something. He has some handrails in there that are just, you're going ridiculously fast at the end. Where I think the slow stuff, it just doesn't do it for me. That's just me. That's my opinion. People have different opinions. So yeah, people kind of argued in the comments, you know, wax is not a skate tool, it's a material. All this debate is it's just opinion. You know, everybody has a different one. People are saying no kickers or plywood when so and so did this. You know, the rolling at Wallenberg, that is kind of a fair argument, but at the same time, that's all before you get to the actual spot. He's actually making the spot easier, so I think it is different. Yeah, I mean, this guy has other rules. They're all making up rules. Um, yeah, this guy's saying, you know, can't be wax, wood sheet, or a kicker. Milton Martinez's car wash kickflip cannot be trick of the year. Now, I think the difference here is, like, that he's not making the landing easier or anything like that. would Milton Martinez's kickflip into the car wash be as cool if he like made a giant bank that made it more mellow? You know, I don't know. So Tyshawn, yeah, I mentioned that Tyshawn. Now, the only reply I did that I thought was pretty funny, I said I didn't make the rules. Like there are no rules. So yeah, that I kind of cracked myself up with that one. I didn't make the rules, brother. The streets did. Clearly not being serious, but it is a fun conversation to have. Now, I posted this on my story just to see what people thought in the DMs. So I'm going to go through some of my DMs, and I don't really know what is said above these. This shit was pussy. Half send, fuck this clip. The jaw would not approve. Tyler thinks the jaw would not approve. I think Nyjah would approve because I don't think Nyjah's ever said anything mean or controversial. He seems kind of soft in that way, actually. But not soft skate wise. But he seems like a type, yeah, kind of like a people pleaser. I think Nyjah would think it's cool. Um, Clevon said, "Nah, I know it's gnarly rail, but I'm sure there is some crazy ass skater that would try it without that shit on." I feel like he has a point. If you get hurt, you get hurt. At least he's wearing a helmet. Nyjah would probably try that shit in shorts, a hoodie, and a monster hat. Nyjah would maybe do that. Also, I don't judge somebody for wearing a helmet ever. I think you need to keep yourself safe in skating. Uh, you know, if you're comfortable wearing a helmet, it's got to be the smarter thing to do. But but it is kind of interesting because he's wearing a helmet, so he could be a little more dangerous per se. Yaki 99, definitely not. Look how slow he exited that shit. Some rails just aren't meant to be grinded. That's fine. That is whack. In fact, he takes it away after 2, so no one else can skate it. Mega whack. Whoa, heavy. Would much rather see him grind a slightly less gnarly rail without the tape. That's where I agree. I would agree that I would prefer to see somebody skate a rail without having to do this. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about Andy is he let the people decide. He showed you him putting that on there. He didn't try to hide it or anything like that. So, you know, he's owning up to what he knows, I think. He knows it's a little on the boundaries and then in the gray area. And there is a gray area because when that barracks dude had the spots that were completely fake, like the Allstate sign or whatever, there was like unbelievable amount of hate for that. So there definitely is a line, but no one can really define where it is. I mean, that's kind of why I asked the people in my chat. So this guy sent me a fucking book. To me, this felt like the evolution and continue of Bear's fake spots. Yeah, that's again the kind of the point I was making. It's too much doing, or it's too much for something that can already be done without the gimmicks, the anti-wax foam cover, the board and the grip, tape with all the angles and designed to help you to know where to put your flip. Okay, it's kind of rambling. I'm sorry, guy. Dream 777 Eater. The dude's an eater. Also, don't trust a motherfucker that wears a watch on each hand. Okay, hold up. This could change everything. Is he wearing a watch on both hands? You can be on time without that. That's a little weird. Or wears a beanie hat, helmet at all times. What's he hiding? Ah, I bet he's balding. I don't know that he's balding. Doesn't he have a long... What is this guy talking about? See, this guy seems like an Andy hater. He's the physical manifestation of Jamal Smith's famous video. His hair whack. His tricks whack. Clothes whack. Shoes whack. Yeah, those are some strong allegations of balding, so I'm not going to go there. Nico said it's eligible because I think a trick, because it's still a trick, but in no world should it win. I think there's been much better tricks this year as well. I think this is a cool trick, a fun trick. I enjoy talking about it actually, but not trick of the year. Lord DeAndre said, hell yeah, it's still a trick. But if you notice our other DMs, uh, see, I posted about how good Glorilla is and how she's the best female rapper. He said Sexy Red. So, I mean, can you really take the opinions of someone who thinks Sexy Red is better than Glorilla? I mean, I don't even know if this guy's trustworthy anymore after he sent that to me. I don't even know that I should be responding to him. It's very strange. So, Garrett Wagner, let me see. Wallenberger needs a ramp set up to skate it. I don't get why everyone's so upset. Yeah, but the thing about the Wallenberger ramp is no matter how you get the speed, you still have this giant stair that you have to skate. Also, if you see these other things, I'm just talking shit about Chris Cole in the DMs, basically. Maybe for like one of the subcategories, definitely not trick of the year. Can't argue with that. Dumb data, we're having this conversation about switch heel flips. And I was saying you have to flick them with your toe. It sounds so weird. I might make a video on it. It doesn't make any sense, but heel flips are not even real. Heel flips are just kick flips on the other side of the board. But that's a different conversation for a different day. So overall trick of the year, no, but it deserves some kind of recognition as a major achievement in skateboarding. What the fuck is Dumb Data talking about? A major achievement in skateboarding? What do you want somebody to make him a plaque? I mean, what does he really expect? Should we send him a YouTube play like button of the streets? Like, what is he talking about? No, I'm kidding. That's his opinion. He thinks it's cool. Uh, it is an interesting trick. It's fun. Local trash panda. We were talking about how beefy John Hill is in the DMs one day. For sure eligible, but I'm a dark side junkie, so his ender gets my vote. All right, his ender, that was the squiggly thing, right? Also, if you admit that you're a dark slide junkie, I don't know if I want your opinion. If you've watched me before, dark slides are my least favorite thing. But yeah, the squiggly thing is better. Nope. Skater Owned Solutions said nope. Very insightful. Glad I included that. Skate Ecosystems. I actually really like this page. They just post like AI generated. Hold up, let me show you. They post stuff that's like, I'm pretty sure it's fake. I'm not 100% sure, but they're just like kind of satisfying spots to look at. So I kind of like following them. Skate Ecosystem. From my perspective, he tamed the spot, making a grind a lot slower and less risky. The primal element of rail skating, notice he specified rail skating, was tamed. I kind of agree with that. The trick was no longer about speed and risk, but about control. Making a handrail about control can be done and might be a better fit for another trick at another spot. 2 out of 10. Further investigation would be to compare to the other long rail grinds on long untamed rails and see how they stack up. I think that's a great argument. Um, yeah, it did become more about balance, less about gnar. Um, yeah, wow. Yeah, and I feel like this would not stack up well if you compare it to some of somebody mentioned the jaw earlier. If you compare it to some of the kinked rails that Nyjah Huston is grind and how gnarly they get, and how he didn't have anything to slow him down on some of those, and he's hauling ass at the end of like the triple kink or whatever, I don't think this would stack up well. I don't understand how this is in talks for tricks of the year, but his dark slide ender through the wiggly ass rail isn't being talked about. I think that the wiggly dark slide is actually a better qualification than this. I will say that. That's just my opinion. But that is a trick that every skater can appreciate, whether or not you like dark slides. I don't like dark slides, so it didn't get me going, but I did think it was cool. Okay, I think so. Andy's the man, and a lot of stuff is harder than he makes it seem. Well, that sounds like a big Andy fan if I've ever heard one. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely hard. Don't get me wrong. This is an insanely hard trick, but Boomer Johnston, is that his name? Not eligible. Oh no, where'd I go? I don't know what just happened. I lost my DMs. Avery Machine. Yeah, sure. LOL. In fact, having this win trick of the year would be so exciting, like starting an argument and leaving the room. See, this guy who wants to start arguments about trick of the year has a devil-looking profile picture. I'm not surprised that guy wants to start arguments. Ethan Cross sent me a book. He said, I could do a no comply, still eligible. Whether or not it'll win is a different question. Probably won't because of how controversial and there's gnarlier shit this year. Gotta agree with this. Skaters modify spots all the time. Realistically, it's not that different. He mentions like if you land on plywood, don't roll through grass. I somewhat disagree though. I've seen tricks where because they landed on plywood, even though they had to, it kind of took away from the trick for me. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. Andy's style is abysmal. So this guy's not a fan. Yeah, it has definitely generated a lot of discussion. I thought about going on Slap to figure out what they're saying about it, but I don't want to go on Slap. Alright. I mean, he didn't roll. Okay, this guy's take, I have no idea what he's talking about. He didn't roll, or he didn't land on all four wheels. It counted as if he connected but didn't roll away clean. Upon further review, that's what happened. He said, I'd count it. This looks like a pain in the ass to grind. I'd rather just count it than subject more human suffering to a 50-50. I mean, 50-50s are okay if it's gnarly enough. It is kind of boring if you see it on something kind of mellow. He said if it was a board slide blood, it'd be top trick of the century. Yeah, but what the fuck are you on? Bro, nobody is gonna blunt slide that. I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. I don't know if a board slide would be cooler than a 50-50 on this. That's where maybe I don't agree with you. But anyways, those are some of the opinions I see. It seems like probably 70% of people think it shouldn't count. I mean, even the trick video that I commented on SLS, my comment got 200 likes. Not that this really matters, but my comment got 220 likes. People arguing with me got way less. Even Andy, who commented, got less than my kind of troll comment. I'm not bragging or anything. It just makes it seem like most people don't think this trick should count. So, what is your opinion? Should this trick be eligible for Trick of the Year? I know there's not really any criteria. It's just the streets that decide these things. And whoever's at Thrasher.